Guten Tag zusammen. Hi everybody. Heute lernen wir über Demonstrative. Today we're learning about demonstratives. Das ist unsere letzte Grammatiklektion des Jahres. That's our last grammar lesson of the year. So we're going to take a look at some examples, do a little practice with them. We've actually seen them before, but now it's become a grammar theme. So we are talking not only about demonstrative pronouns, but we're also talking about demonstrative adjectives. I'm really going to focus more on the adjectives because the demonstrative pronouns you'll end up using a lot more later whenever you learn about relative pronouns in later levels of German. Okay, so let's take a look at our examples down below. We have dieser Fluss ist die Havel und das da ist die Spree. So we have this river there is, or that river there is the Havel, and that there is the Spree. So that is how we would translate those. That's what they look like in context. The first one, dieser, is a demonstrative adjective, and the das is a demonstrative pronoun. And then we look at the next example. Es war meine Idee, hierher zu kommen. Ich liebe diesen Ort. It was my idea to come here. I love this place. So this is a demonstrative adjective, and it's describing the place, this place. All right, let's take a look at the next slide. So we have lots of different demonstrative adjectives. We often refer to these as der words because they take the same endings as our der words when we use them in context. These include dieser, which is this or that, jeder, which is each or every, alle, which is all, mancher, which is some, solcher, which is such, and welcher, which is which. There's also another one that's not used very frequently in spoken German, and that's jener, which is that. We have down below two examples. Gina, welcher Laptop gefällt dir am besten? Gina, which laptop do you like the best? And ich finde diesen Laptop am schönsten. I think this laptop is the nicest, or I find this laptop the prettiest or the nicest. All right, let's see what the book tells us next. We have a caution here. Jeder is only used with singular nouns, while alle is used in the plural. So that's just something to note whenever you're talking about things. If you're saying each, then that would be jeder. If you're saying like all or every, then you're using alle. The accusative forms of jeder appear in time expressions that we've seen before. Jeden Tag, jeden Monat, jede Woche, jedes Jahr. So we've seen those before. We actually did a song with them in class. Solcher is used mainly in the plural. Instead of using solcher in the singular, German speakers typically use so ein to mean that kind of or such a. So einen Mann möchte ich heiraten. That kind of man, or a man like that I would like to marry. All right, so let's take a look at how these look on our chart. So we have our der words chart here for the nominative, accusative, dative, and genitive now. We have masculine, feminine, neuter, and plural. And we see our Risi, Nisi, Merman, and now Sir with the genitive, that is the same as what we normally have on der, die, das, die. It's just that last letter, and if that last letter is a consonant, an E comes before it. So that is how we figure out our endings for our der words. So not just dies, but welch and manch and solch and all the other ones that were listed on that last slide. So let's take a look at some examples. We have mit dieser Tastatur können Sie viel schneller tippen. So with this keyboard, you can type much faster. And we notice that with that first phrase there, with this keyboard, that is a prepositional phrase. Mit is a dative preposition. Tastatur is feminine. And so that is why dies has an ER ending on it to look like dear. And then we look at the next one. Speichert dein neues Handy jede SMS. Does your new cell phone save every text message? Text message is feminine. It is our direct object here. So we use the accusative feminine is jede, just like die. And then we have manche Sender haben keine gute Programme. Some stations don't have any good programs. So stations is plural there. So we take an E ending on manche. And then the next one, solche Websites gefallen mir nicht. I don't like those kinds of websites, or I don't like such websites, or websites like those. And websites is plural, so again, that is an E ending on solch. All right, we take a look at the next examples here. We're talking about the adjective endings that follow. These are the same as the adjective endings that we have on our chart following our der words. So our two examples here, diese kleine Digitalkamera macht sehr schöne Fotos. That little digital camera takes great photos. And then welchen neuen Film wollt ihr heute Abend sehen? Which new film do you guys want to see tonight? So again, these are just like saying die kleine Digitalkamera or den neuen Film. They take the same endings as the der words and then the adjective endings that follow those. And now we're moving on to demonstrative pronouns. These aren't used very frequently in German, and you could probably get around speaking German without ever using them. You will end up needing them later when you learn about relative pronouns and relative clauses. Let's just take a look at how they are used in context. Ist Greta online? Ja, die schreibt eine E-Mail. Is Greta online? Yeah, she is writing an email. You could say, ja, sie schreibt eine E-Mail. But it calls more attention to the subject there whenever you say die instead of sie. Gefällt dir dein neuer Drucker? Do you like your new printer? Ja, der funktioniert sehr gut. Yeah, it works really well. And it just makes it more clear what you're talking about. You're talking about der Drucker, and that just means it works really well, instead of saying er. And so this is what those demonstrative pronouns look like in every form. They look the same as your regular articles for the nominative, accusative, and dative for masculine, feminine, neuter, and almost all of the plural in those forms. The only one that is different in the dative is denen, and then the genitive, instead of being des, der, it is dessen, deren, dessen, and deren. We'll take a look at some examples that we have here. Der Anrufbeantworter ist wirklich alt. Den habe ich schon seit Jahren. The answering machine is really old. I've had it for years. And we notice that sometimes that demonstrative pronoun is placed toward the beginning of the sentence, calling more attention to that object when we use it in context. Look at the next one. Ramona ist sehr zuverlässig. Die wird nicht zu spät kommen. Ramona's really reliable. She won't come too late. And so that die is referring to Ramona. Was sagen deine Eltern? Hast du denen schon dein Zeugnis gezeigt? What do your parents say? Have you shown them your report card yet? And here, we don't say, hast du den schon dein Zeugnis gezeigt? We say, hast du denen schon dein Zeugnis gezeigt? When we use the demonstrative pronoun here. And then in the next one, ich habe nur eine Fernbedienung, aber mit der kann man alles an und ausmachen. I only have one remote, but you can turn everything on and off with it. So that is how we use those in contexts. The next slide cautions us that when we talk about people, the demonstrative pronoun is the equivalent to he, she, it, or they. And when we refer to things, it's the equivalent to it, that, or those. And so we take a look down at the bottom. It says it usually appears at or near the beginning of a clause or a sentence, even when it is an object, as we saw on that last slide. We use the genitive demonstrative pronouns dessen and deren in cases where the possessive adjective sein or ihr might cause some confusion. So in that first example, Erik hat Daniel auf seinem neuen Boot gesehen. We don't know whose boat it is, but in the next sentence, Erik hat Daniel auf dessen neuen Boot gesehen. Dessen's referring to the last person that was mentioned in the sentence, and so you know that it's Daniel's boat. All right, and then we also use these demonstrative pronouns when we're showing where something is. Like if you're saying, der Tag gefällt Wolfgang besser. Wolfgang likes that one better. Or vergiss nicht, das hier zu drücken. Don't forget to print this here, or this one. So that was our introduction to demonstratives. Let's review some of what we learned already today. What I have below here are words which can't stand alone without an ending. The book introduced them as jeder, alle, dieser, welcher, with an ending on all of them, and they all do need endings. But this is the form that will take an ending when we figure it out by looking at that chart. So let's figure out what all of these mean. Jed means Each or every. How about all? All. How about dies? This or that. What does welch mean? Which. How about, what does jen mean? This one wasn't mentioned in the book and is used very infrequently in German. That. How about, what does solch mean? Such, or like that. What does manch mean? Some, or many a. All right, one more review before we complete any examples. Let's make sure we can fill in this chart with the correct endings on diese. All right, so nominative masculine would be dieser. How about nominative feminine? Diese. How about nominative neuter? Dieses. How about nominative plural? Diese. How about accusative masculine? Diesen. How about accusative feminine? Diese. How about accusative neuter? Dieses. How about accusative plural? Diese. Now, dative masculine. Diesem. How about dative feminine? Dieser. How about dative neuter? Diesem. How about dative plural? Diesen. How about genitive masculine? Dieses. How about genitive feminine? Dieser. How about genitive neuter? Dieses. How about genitive plural? Dieser. All right, now let's use this to complete the first example that's down below there. Nummer 1. We want to say this, so we will be using dies. And we want to say woman is my mother. This woman's the subject, so that's nominative. So what would that be if we wanted to say that in German? Diese Frau ist meine Mutter. So we look nominative, feminine, and we get diese. All right, next one isn't dies. It is a different word, such. Such questions are more simple than other questions. Solche Fragen sind einfacher als andere Fragen. And that one was plural nominative. So nominative, plural. We're looking at that E ending on solch. All right, how about the next one? All houses have stood here for 100 years. Alle Häuser standen hier schon seit 100 Jahren. All right, Number 4. We want to say each book on the shelf I've read already. So it's our direct object. Book is, what would it be in German? Jedes Buch auf dem Regal habe ich schon gelesen. Number 5. We have the pretty car, the nice car, belongs to this woman. What would that be in German? Don't forget that gehören is a dative verb, so that would make the woman dative in this instance. So that would be dieser Frau gehört das schöne Auto. All right, let's try some other examples on the next page here. We're going to complete these exercises by using demonstratives with the correct endings. So if you want to say, I find such ideas dangerous, how would we say that in German? Ich finde solche Ideen gefährlich. All right, Nummer 2. Every dad should play football or soccer. What would that be? If we want to say every. Jeder Vater soll Fußball spielen. All right, Nummer 3. I'm giving that lady my seat. So I am the subject. I'm giving the lady. She's receiving the seat. The seat's the direct object. That makes the lady your indirect object dative. So what would this be? Ich gebe dieser Frau meinen Platz. So dies can mean this or that. And now Number 4, this class is really nice. How would I say that? Diese Klasse ist wirklich nett. And then Number 5, from which platform or track does the train depart? Starting with von, a dative preposition. And Gleis is neuter. Von welchem Gleis fährt der Zug? And I've already seen this film. Ich habe diesen Film schon gesehen. Our direct object